Yay. Oh my goodness, that took a time and a half. 4 minutes from when I first started to actually sign in, purely because I had done all the processes of clear the cache, restart the computer, sign in again, and I forgot to do the YouTube one, didn't I? As I'm simulcasting to, or dual casting or whatever, to mytimetv.live on Facebook and to my YouTube channel. So it's great to be here. It is, well, it's 8:35 here in South Australia at the moment. I'm just going over and checking that I am actually live on the mytimetv.live page, and just to see where it's at. Coming up with some other types of live streams there. How does that show? Now playing. Yes, it is. Great. Well, at least we're here. Well, I'm here. Leanne's not going to be able to tune in tonight at the moment. We found last week that the reception and doing it from the mobile phone in a car whilst travelling was not good enough quality, and she did drop out anyway. So that's what happened at the, I don't know whether it was a midway mark or something last week. So I am hoping that we are here successful. Well, that I'm here successfully, because I know I've got 4 viewers. It's what it's telling me, but I'm not seeing any comments. So I'm just going to let me know. Yeah, you are tuning in from. And that should go out to both the channels. I'll see that come up in a minute. So, it'd be interesting to see what sort of day you've had too. Great. Looks like the comments are going to start coming in because Tiffany's here. So, hi, lovelies. You've shared the love. Well, that's lovely. Thank you. Yeah, now I'm going to do them just a slight bit differently, the readings today, because it's one of those funny things. Hi, Tiffany. Yeah, I presume that you were here early enough to hear me say Leanne's not going to be on whilst she's doing the, not going to be able to join while she's doing the Fringe show. By the time she's finished in the car and heading home, it is around this time, but the mobile phone reception and tuning in was just too noisy, unreliable, not good quality. So we're deciding not to have Leanne show, like, pop in. She might be home at her place, at her home and on the solid connection at the tail end, but it won't be at the start. So you did catch that. Yeah, I did catch that. Well, thank you. So that's just a reminder for anyone else. Now, I have got this on my YouTube channel. I did mention that. I haven't cross-posted to anywhere else, but I have put it on my Facebook profile. So just look for Ros Boundy and it should be there. Now, what I was wondering about doing tonight for anyone that was going to pop in and want to have some reading, just little mini readings, I have got, I'm just going to do it this away. Hopefully that's showing up. And I'll do it this away so that it's just me and those little bits, okay? These ones at the moment, where does that go? I can move that one around a little bit. It's not quite like my eCam, but it's good enough. Now, the cards that I've got, because I'm the one-handed, I really can't shuffle. It's not showing up very easily for me to be able to do that. Oh, Tiffany, you've just noticed the slang. Yeah, well, I'm actually, what date are we today? We're the 26th, so it's the 27 days since I actually broke my wrist. So what's under this, I'll actually switch it around so that you can see. What's under the sling is a split type thing. I didn't have the cast. That was cut off at 2 weeks. But certainly because I've had to have surgery, it's got a plate and some screws now, and it's just recovery time. Very frustrating, I can tell you. Painful still to a degree, and everything's okay. It'll get better, like any broken bone does. But I suppose the further along you are in age, the little longer it takes, probably. I don't know. It'll heal when it heals. So, Elma, howdy to you as well. So good day. Are you in Australia? So because we're on our good evening now. It's actually night time. It's 8:39 on my computer. So that's what that's doing. Now, Tiffany, you're wondering about a relationship reading. Well, what I've actually got, I thought what I'd do today, and I'm going to turn off that little widget. It's long enough for people to have seen that for now. And we've got Natalie popping in as well. Been a while since you've been on here. Yeah, I'm going to be getting to those fairly early. So it depends on how many we've actually got, and I'm just going to go and take care of that one if I can get over to it. Because I'm by myself too, there's going to need to be just those. So someone is already doing a thingy on the troll stuff. Okay, you need to actually, what you do when you're reporting that, you right click. Oh, actually, what's happening there? You right click, you give feedback or report this comment, do spam first, and then if you've got the ability and it's coming up, you actually need to do the ban and block. So that's actually being done. Someone's doing that there from the look of it. So thank you very much. Tiffany, you're hoping that I have fast recovery. Of course, so do I. You had foot surgery last Monday. I hope you heal well too and fast. Sending healing energy to you. I'm understanding how frustrating it is, I can tell you. And hi, Sarah. Lovely to see you here tonight as well. So, Elma, you're in South Africa. Oh, wonderful. That's from so many of the videos that we see or films, the documentaries. It looks like a wonderful place to be as well. So, great stuff. Now, I'll just go back to this one. I'm just going to do the readings by picking a card from these shaman cards. And if it's more business related, I can do one of these business oracles that's a sphericals, which I did explain last time, of taking their little balls and the cards have a meaning. So this, with the shaman's path, it's affirmation cards with instructions for use in this box. So they're just message cards. So I'm just going to pop them here and pick randomly anything like this. So for you, Tiffany, this is the one that I'm going to show you that's for your reading. So I'm just going to do that and see here. In this bag is the little balls. It's sort of like bingo balls in a way, and they've got the numbers on them if you can see them like that. And then there's a corresponding text in the book. So that's what I've got for that lot, and I'll do it that way. It's just the way I sort of figured it might be a bit more fun to do something a bit different. Right, so Tiffany, these do sort of go away after a bit, don't they? So here we've got for you, it's for relationship, and it's shaman's death. So on the back here is what it actually has as a reading. And I'm just wondering whether I do it up this way. Let's see what's going to actually look easier, is whether seeing it that way. So the shaman's death is an initiation into shamanic work. It can occur when someone experiences a physical death and returns with new powers. So it's like the near-death experience. Write about experiences where you returned from a physical or metaphorical death and resurrected into a different state of consciousness. Write about any near-death experiences, whether physical or metaphysical. So it's just putting a bit of a task to it for you. In a relationship reading, how are we going to interpret that? What it's even got on the back of it, hang on. As far as the affirmation goes, it says, I trust that with any form of death, resurrection will follow. So what I'm getting for you is you're asking for a relationship reading, and what I'm feeling with that is that in that respect, I almost feel I need to be holding it over that side. Let me just have a looky, see how I can organise this just a little bit differently. If we put it that way, and I'm going to hold that there. what I'm feeling from seeing this card as a relationship issue, I'm feeling that probably what you're needing to actually do, this is a bit weird, I'm going to go this away. Just doesn't feel right in some respects. So what I'm feeling for you in this is what the card suggested as writing things down as that near-death or relationship, near-death issues, as we can see on the back. You might be able to see it and take a screenshot. Write about those experiences. Write about the near-death stuff and what you felt and as you come out of it. It's feeling to me that it's like if you've come through a relationship breakdown or a moving on from something that has been a relationship, and that that itself is probably that metaphorical death that's going to have that death of that relationship, moving it on and putting it into the history of what you have experienced and has been your past, and needing to re-experiencing it for the purpose of writing those feelings, acknowledging it, and accepting that as a death of that relationship to be able to move on to a new one, or working through those issues that feel like they are dead and past that's within the current relationship, and moving that on so that you're actually bringing a depth of experience to that next stage of what is your relationship now. So that's what it's feeling like for me as this card has surfaced for you, giving you that message. Okay. I'm feeling that the strength of what you're going to be having in that coming forward of your relationships is going to certainly be tenfold, because if like to do that as a practice, as your experience, to move it on, to actually give it that oomph and freshness too, I suppose. It's almost like what you move on to that past and being part of your history is now going to clear and cleanse the way to be able to see the bushfire images is coming into my mind, where you have it all looks terrible, horrible and catastrophic and tragedy, and yet you see even only the next day or 2 or 3 or 4 days later that there is already those new shoots that start to regrow freshness and newness, and starting that new stage of what's next in that scrub, the bush. And it really does feel like that new start, freshness. Look at it with that perspective, and being able to still nurture it though, still nurture the relationship. Not sure if you're after new relationship or your current relationship at the moment. So you're in the middle of figuring out what to do with it. Yeah, and I do feel it's deteriorating. Give it that fire of cleansing. Take into that type of meditation the metaphorical death of what you want to pass off into the history, what you're wanting to give it a mini death, I suppose, of the parts of the relationship that you're currently in. And it does come down a lot to communication with your partners and being able to talk things through. But also with that talking, there does need to be action as follow-up, that nurturing, that loving, tender care of each other. Okay, because the bush, as it regenerates, usually there's rain that follows bushfires, as you know, that freshening up, that rejuvenation. So have, go out on date nights and things like that, refresh and have that caring for each other. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful for you. And I'm just going to go down. I do start from the top of the list, so if you're later in on the show, you might not get anything. I don't know. I'm just going to take what time it takes. So just down there, I don't even know where I got up to really. Now I did have this one. Yes, I did get to Natalie, didn't I, before? And then we saw some other comments. Been a while since being here. Now, Natalie, if you could actually ask a more specific question further down, I'll have a quick look. I'll say hello to some others that might be here, because the more clarity, the more precise your question is, the better clarity you get with an answer, with a reading. So it would be lovely to have a bit more detail in what sort of reading you'd like. Ask a specific question. So we've got down here to Tiffany, you've mentioned again, yes, it's frustrating with your foot being operated. Oh, you've got 3 young ones and your brother in your care. Oh, I do feel for you. So, yes, we'll all send you some loving, healing energy. So thank you for popping in. And Margaret, hi to you as well. And again, for you, Margaret, if you could pop a more specific question in would be lovely as to what type of reading you'd actually like. So, and Elma, you've also asked for a general reading as well. I can do them as general readings. And Nita's also asking, oh, hi, it's lovely to see those beautiful hearts and prayer hands. Would love a card picked. Look, I'm going to go back to these and I will just do them as a card since they are these cards at the moment. If you want something around business, just ask for the spherical. See if you can spell it. Or I might even do them later. If you put that in the comments, I can do those a bit, I can do a DM or something. I don't know. It's the first time I've brought them out to actually use as readings. So there we go. Now, okay, we'll go to Natalie, and I'll just pull you a card from this lot. Okay, I think it might be the better way to go. What you've got is the Power Song. Oh, wow. That's a lovely, strong one. Oh, actually, I'll put it under here because that's how I was doing it, wasn't it? So there's the Power Song. Beautiful card. Look at that, the strength of the drum with the light of the sun, setting sun or the rising sun in there. And what we have with the Power Song, I'm going to have to read it sideways like this. I've got me things around the wrong way, haven't I? Actually, I might do that. Let me just swap them out. I'm just going to go for a sec. I'll be back. It's just that way it changes my position. It looks like I'm reading it sideways, doesn't it? So I'm just cheating a little bit. I'm hoping that actually stays there in focus, and it's probably not going to, is it? Anyway, a power song is one you receive from a spirit guide that generates a strong sense of personal and spiritual power. So while in nature, I'm just going to hold it up like that. So while in nature, ask one of your spirit guides to teach you a power song, either in your native language or a shamanic language. Sing a song that makes you feel powerful. And the affirmation with this one is, my power song sings me. So have another look at this card. Isn't it gorgeous? So my power song sings me. It's one of those things that when I first started doing, getting increased heart rate, I've had the diagnosis before of atrial fibrillation. It's when your heart rate is really elevated and it fibrillates. It goes like that instead of pump, pump, pump. And when it's did that a couple of times, I would do the humming. So with that card, it would be that what I would do is go, and I'd actually feel it into the heart, and that helped to calm it. And from that, I ended up doing sound therapy as a training. And it's so wonderful to actually have that voice, even if it's just an instrument of the drum, as this card is, that instrument, that beautiful beat, the heartbeat that we can create with it. It is calming and peaceful. And it's something that when you don't have an instrument even, we carry it with us. It is our voice. And on our out-breath, we can create our own song. Even the sounds that we're making as far as speech is a song in some ways. But when we're creating our own song, just allow that breath within you to create and help spirit to create your own song, like that mantra was. So go back and replay just that section to find what that affirmation was. Let the look, I'll just go and say it again. It's my power song. My power song sings me. Okay. So hopefully that's going to be helpful for you, Natalie. And I'll go down here, and Sarah, lovely to see. I've seen I have seen them there, haven't I? So, Margaret, here we go, a reading. Even those of you who I'm just picking the card for even now, if you're further down, do ask a specific question. Hopefully it is specific to the card that does show up. It'll be fun. I mean, who knows? They're picked for you. Higher self. And that really is getting in touch with that inner you. So with that one, what we're coming across is the higher self is eternal and non-dualistic. God, I do look like I need glasses, doesn't it? But it's hard. I've got to put my head up because that's where the card is to show it to you, okay? So the higher self is eternal and non-dualistic. It is pure consciousness manifesting as you. And I need my, there. Close your eyes. Allow your breath to slow and deepen and listen closely to the whisper of your higher self. Your higher self has already given you the guidance you seek. Pay closer attention. And the affirmation with this is, I am now able to discern the messages from my higher self from that of my ego. So it really is being able to tell yourself, and I'm going to try and put it there. I don't know if you can get a screenshot of that at some point. Okay, and here's this card. It is that taking the time, making the time to actually connect in with that higher self as a meditation, as a, in whatever way that you feel that you use yourself as that technique. I have used it as meditation or just sitting and getting in touch with, it's just, it takes practice for some, find which way suits you, but it really is breathing into a depth of meditation or self-hypnosis or something similar that actually gives you the ability to speak with your higher self and have that conversation. There you go. So hopefully that's been helpful for you too, Margaret. And here we've got Elma is asking for a general reading, so I'm just going to take that card. Here's the card for you. It is the Shaman card. Okay, here you've got the Shaman card. It's been so long since I've actually used these cards as for readings. They are gorgeous. Look at the artwork in that. And the meaning on that one with Shaman, is it going to focus for you to take a screenshot later? Come on, there it is. Whoop, that was a short burst, wasn't it? Let's see. Ooh. Right, Shaman, one who journeys into non-ordinary reality and there works with helping spirits to find guidance and healing for her tribe. Learn how to do a shamanic journey with a trusted teacher. Deepen your studies about shamanism. So the affirmation there is, I'm committed to the shamanic path as it continues to emerge in my consciousness. Okay, so you should be able to have a shot of that at some point. Take a photo. I think what it's actually more saying is that you are ready to move into that field of discovery, tapping into your shamanic energies and doing some learning around that. So I think there's really nothing more to be said about that one really, but to discover who your shamanic teacher will be and be directed by your inner guidance, your spiritual connection for who that may be. I know it's been many years ago that I did my shamanic initiations, and it's a wonderful experience. So tap into that knowing for you where and with whom that you're going to have that training, because it's something that does need some following up when you're directed to. As we know, I've got a giggle because, I don't want a third warning of not listening to spirit. This is number 2. The first one was falling over and really skinning and damaging my knee a little bit over a month ago, 2 months ago now. I obviously didn't listen well enough and I ended up having this happen nearly a month ago now. So I don't want a third. It is that purpose of tapping in, listening to spirit, trusting what their guidance is. You've been directed to look into what your shamanic path is going to be. Okay, so thank you, Elma. Now, Nita, your turn. And what do we got here? The labyrinth. Here is yours. That beautiful design. I love the labyrinth card that's actually in the Gilded Reverie Lenormand too, that I use every morning. And this is just as beautiful in its design. It really gives that mesmerizing effect, almost hypnotic. And it does remind me a bit of the shape of the brain. Let's see what it's got to say. Hopefully that's focusing, sort of. So labyrinth is a sacred spiral structure with a path to the center that encourages contemplation and meditation as you walk slowly to the center and back. Find an existing labyrinth or construct one and meditate while walking the path. Make today an exploration and an adventure. So 3 little ideas there of guidance for you around a labyrinth. The affirmation is, I discover insights and inspiration as I walk the labyrinth. So I think it's an alternative way for you to, if you know where there's a labyrinth you can walk it. If you need to create one, even if it's just a line on the ground, there are patterns of labyrinths that are on the internet. I have looked them up way back because I wanted to actually create one in my backyard. Haven't done it yet. This design would suit perfectly in there, but it's not quite big enough. And we're going to put the clothesline there now. So do find that space that you can actually do a walk in a labyrinth, even if it's just in that imaginary, to take a snapshot of this picture, and as you're tracing the pathway with your finger in a awake dreaming is the way I'll describe it. Trace the path in a meditative state for yourself if you can't find one to physically walk as a labyrinth, and bring that connection most definitely in that real sense with your spiritual guidance as you're tracing that pattern or walking that path, so that you are receiving those messages. Do listen and trust what you're receiving. Tune into that, so the psychic senses, your intuitive senses, that connection with spirit. So you're definitely being directed to follow that path. And definitely, here it is again, you discover the insights and inspiration as you're walking that labyrinth. Okay, so that's where you're going to get your own messages in that way. Okay, now Kavita. Oh, I've got lots of little lots of messages now. Oops. This is a bit slower way of doing it, isn't it? But I tend to be a bit slower at it anyway. So at least we haven't had all the messages sliding off the screen. So hi there, Kavita. So hope I'm well. Like to know if you'll find another job anytime soon. I lost my job. I'm feeling that if you're placing your trust, I do feel you've actually got some guidance, somebody who's going to be helping you with that. From the other side. So trusting in those little messages and directions that you're getting from, I don't know whether it's a relative or whether it's just your guidance. I'm definitely getting that message that you're going to be getting your job soon. Here's the spiritual animal mask is a card to pull for you, guided for you. Okay. And what that's meaning, let's have a look, see. Is it going to focus? Focus. There we go. No. So this is the spirit animal mask. It's a mask of your power animal or favourite spirit animal to be worn in ceremony. So make a mask of an animal spirit guide and decorate it as you're guided to, as you're prompted to. Yeah, well, it's guided to, isn't it? So take a few moments and imagine seeing through the eyes of your spirit animal. So here we go, wearing my mask, I'm imbued with the power of the spirit animal. So what I'm feeling with that as part of the message for you is put on the positive aspects of knowing that you're going to get the job. It's not covering up or hiding behind the fact that you've lost your job and oh, woe is me. It's actually bringing that mask forward and placing it as that armor ready for that next job. And it gives the strength, it gives that focus of positives. Breathe into that, the positives. So Certainly you will. I don't know what the timeline will be. It feels like it might be a couple of months yet, but you do need to keep putting that positive. It is going to happen. You will get a job. Okay. I've already put that one up of Tiffany's. And hi, Susan. Wonderful to see you here too. Now, Crown Light. I'd say there's another one of those. I'm not going to put that one up. Tamara. Hi, how are you today or tonight? Lovely to have you here as well. Just going to double check that someone's been able to block that one. I think there probably has been someone doing the monitoring in the background of those nutters. Oh, no, can't see that one. So let me just have a look. Just got to take some of that time. No, I can't find it, so obviously not there. Just came up in the feed, that's all. And what am I doing? Where am I at? Thank you from Tiffany, so thank you. I'm pleased it made sense. It's one of those things that when we actually do receive the messages from Spirit, we need to trust what it is we're receiving. And that's what I do. So even though it might not make sense to me as I'm speaking it, it is needing to make sense to you. And it will at some point in time, even if it's not an immediate making sense. There's something about the message. There could be that I've interpreted a little off whack, but it still will make sense in that longer term. So thank you for actually confirming that it does make sense now. In the early days when I first started doing this, self-doubt, you got no idea. But you know, we just need to learn to trust. Each and every one of us does need to learn to trust what that intuitive sense, that gut feeling is telling us. Okay. Now we're up to Sarah's actually said, hi Ros, I burned Palo Santo. Oh, what's Palo Santo? Don't think it's one I've heard. And sage often, every now and then we smell it down the other side of the house days after burning it. Yeah, almost like it's freshly lit. And I think sometimes that is actually Spirit doing a bit of cleansing when it's needed in that moment as a freshener or a warding off or anything like that. Sometimes it's that smell that will tell you that it's actually Spirit helping along too, as far as those situations can be. Okay. And Susan's saying, yes, Ros broke her arm. Ros did. Well, the wrist, to be exact, or two bones, the radius and one of the others in the wrist itself. Plates and screws, they do a lot these days, don't they? And I'm told I'm going to, in future, with the cold weather, get to really know that I broke it. And that'll last, yeah. So, oh, gosh. That's what it is, isn't it? So, Diane. Hi, Ros. Will my new relationship last? Now, do you want that in a card? Or do you want that, look, I'm feeling, have that positive mindset. Relationships really are the communication between two people, whether it's in the verbal sense and you're actually communicating by speaking to each other, or whether it's the actions that you create with each other in response, action, what is it called? Acting and reacting, as being that is more physical in the sense of doing things for each other, or the way that you can read body language. There's so many different ways of communicating. So make it mean something. And what you're actually, I suppose there's the reason that we're in relationship with people, and whether that's the intimate partnership relationships or just in family members, and even the relatives and friends, even, that we are in those relationships for the learnings. It's something that our soul contracts have actually put us in these particular places and spaces with people to learn what we need as particular lessons, or to be the teacher to others. So, it's always a two-way street. So, will your new relationship last? Do you want it to? Is it something that you're feeling a strong impulse, a strong gut feeling about, that, your own psychic senses around it, your own intuition? How do you feel, rather than just having it being, what's my emotions around what is happening? How do I actually feel in that base sense of it? So I'm feeling it will. Is it something that by the time you start to learn different things about each other as you're moving and progressing that relationship forward, that, you know, later on that you might decide, look, it's not for me, or whether it is for me? Sometimes we're not meant to know in an instant whether things are going to be what we want them to be. You know, dreams are there for a reason, but they're, you know, they come true in different ways. So just feel into it and what you're actually, and I emphasize that word feel. What are you feeling? And, you know, will it last? Only you can decide that, really. My sense of it is that, yes, it will. So, yeah, move it forward in whatever way you're guided to. So, yeah. Now, I've got a lot of comments there that look like they are. Yeah. Margaret, you're moving to the country, so you'd like to know if the move will be positive. Let's see what one of the cards will say as a guidance. Thunder beings. Now, that's some power, isn't it? I'm feeling that it probably is. There's going to be those little strikes of power in and around some of what the process is of moving to the country. Is it a really good tree change for you, like something you have been in the country before or not? I'm trying to wait and see if this is going to. Now, thunder beings are powerful spirits being responsible for thunder and lightning. We can see that from the picture, wasn't it? Bringing both destruction and a celebration of life with the emergence of springtime. Be willing to show your thunder and lightning when necessary, and in so doing, establishing your boundaries and your authority. Stay strong and set clear boundaries with others. This sounds good. And the affirmation is, I am powerful and loving and set boundaries when needed. Now, is it something that you've decided with a partner that you're moving into the country? Do you feel? It's another one too, where I direct you to see what you're feeling about moving into the country. Even when some things seem at times that they're not positive, they feel so negative and you don't really want to do it and the rest, is it just your attitude to it because I don't want that and you're being a spoiled child? Or is it because, because things aren't going your way when it says about the boundaries here? Or is it really something that you feel that you've been coerced into it and it's not something you've tried before and you're a bit reluctant because it's that out of your comfort zone? And I'm just feeling, I'm feeling there's, that sensing of there's a touch of that there for some reason. So will it be positive? You can make it positive with seeing the bigger picture of what is going to be ahead for you. Yes, there might be some challenges because lightning really does strike suddenly, and there is so much power in it, but you can actually put that power into being positive. Like electricity has the flow from negative to positive or positive to negative. It's a current. It needs both. So bring that into balance in how you focus on the move to the country and have that determination, set your own boundaries that don't let the negatives get to you, and really feel into that positive aspect of what a country move will be. New friends, new experiences, wonderful. We live in a wonderful country here, honestly, and I'm presuming that you are in Australia, aren't you? And wherever you're choosing to live, what country you're in, there's always going to be beautiful spaces and places, and we can make even the dingiest place look wonderful. It's the way that we go about it, and it's the energy we put in it. So bring that positive energy to it and just reaffirm to yourself, I'm feeling really positive of all that's going to happen. And if there's stuff that's going to happen here, have these boundaries that it mentions, the boundaries, so that if there is a certain level of things that you're not willing to accept, you state that and move it forward to where you want it to go as far as the experience that you do have for country living. So hopefully that's helpful for you too, Margaret. Okay. And Thanks, Lauren. I'm taking a bit of time getting through these, aren't I? Oh, and you had some more there. Is there anything the universe wants me to know? So here we go for your card. Now, I'm hoping I didn't put that other one in there as well. I just can't shuffle them. So it's a way of doing it. So shamanic trance. Oh, wow. Are you ready for some info? Here we go. I'll get the focus put onto this. Let's hope it focuses. So a shamanic trance is the altered state necessary for sending one's consciousness into non-ordinary reality to work with the helping spirits there. That is usually other worldly realms that aren't physical. Drum, rattle, dance, or chant, and note how you naturally enter into an altered state. And that's where the medicine drum really comes in handy as well for trance states. Experiment with now it's not focusing. Experiments with inducing a shamanic trance by drumming, rattling, dancing, or chanting. So it's just giving some ideas of different ways to do that. And your affirmation there is, I now enter into a shamanic trance readily and easily as you move into that space. I would just suggest, though, that you have someone close by near you when you do that trance work, and hopefully someone that knows a little bit about it. So reach out to anyone that you might know, or ask Spirit to guide you to someone that you might know who actually does that type of work so that they can help you with it. It is something that Spirit wouldn't put you into a place of danger with this, just making sure, though, that you yourself are in a safe place to start with. Usually your own home is the safe place that we do attempt this type of trance work with anyway. But it'd be nice to know that you've got someone with you that you can trust with the process, to guide you with the process, or at least if anything occurs, that you're not going to be jumping out of the trance state into, some weird feeling of insecurity. It's just having that reassurance. Explore that. I'm feeling that that's where you're being directed to do some work, is in those areas, okay, of doing trance and finding out some answers. And that can be, who knows, messages for other people as well. Now we've got Natalie. You're asking, will your boyfriend start doing what he said he would? It's one of those funny things. The more I've gone along, and there's some other shows, there has been some other mediums doing readings like Leanne and I do, and that I'm starting to feel like the answering things on behalf of others sometimes isn't really feeling like the right thing. I mean, I don't have permission to sort of tap into his energy to say, oh, you're going to do it, type of thing. So it's that sense, I feel, that your part of this is that communication of keeping in tune with, what actually do you want from what he's saying he's going to do? Have you set some boundaries around what your expectations are? And, those boundaries of, if you do or don't. I don't think it's a good idea at any point to say, if you love me, you'll do blah, 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 because that in itself is almost a bribery. It's moving into relationship with that level of trust and knowing that if you're asking for something to be done, that you trust that it will be. And if you're not happy that it's not in the timeline that your expectation is, you say so, and the reasons why. It is about communication and that sort of getting along with each other, expressing what your expectations of certain things are for each other. And so, look, will he start doing what he said he would? I don't know. And that's one where I'm just feeling it's one I'm not going to answer in a yes or no. I sort of get a feeling around it, but I actually don't feel it's my place to do that. I'm hoping my internet connection's going all right. I just got a red line. If anyone could tell me that, I'll just go back to the 250. Hold on a sec. I just popped down the bottom. Oh, gee whiz, that's 3 already of the... Oh, Art Troll's funny. spammers, trolls, whatever their names are, very impolite. But anyway, there's even 4 now. Goodness, that's a lot of names to be dodging, isn't it? Now, where did I get to? 2050. So I've got Kavita. Hi there. Hope you're well. Oh, I think I already did that one. So you must have probably gone back too far or too much forward. Sorry about that, Kavita. I've already answered yours. So Tamara, you're actually after a spherical. Thank you. This one's going to be different than that. Here we go. And let's see. I'm hoping I can actually lift the book up well enough. Right. You've got number 15. I'm hoping this one works out all right. So you've got 15. Let me just put that on the edge. Whoop, they're not going to stay there, is it? No, going to roll away. Let's do it this way. Is that going to sit there where we can see the numbers still? No, you haven't got enough light. You haven't got enough light. Let's see if that can go over there more. Now, this is interesting, trying to find a way to put a round thing sitting it flat. I need a pile of salt, don't I? I should have thought of this earlier, shouldn't I? Oh, hang on. Look, here, we've got a nice light-coloured cloth sitting there. That might work. Do you think it will? There we are. Yes, it does. And I've got to turn a page. 15. Oh, my, this is going to test my hand, isn't it? I've got to be looking after it because I have done too much over the last couple of days. It's one of those things you try to exercise muscles and keep the limbs moving, but I've been doing it a bit too fast, and it's not with the direction of a physio yet. I just don't want it atrophying or, doing weird things. So what that is, the spherical is team. So I'm just going to have to read this one. It's too hard to hold. So team. Individual learning, no matter how wonderful it is or how great it makes us feel, is fundamentally irrelevant to organisations because virtually all important decisions occur in groups. So the learning unit of organisations are teams, groups of people who need one another to act. So I'm thinking probably, Tamara, because you asked for sphericals, is this one work and business related that you're really wanting to have an answer for? So the teaching around this one is any accomplishment that we can realise on our own is usually trivial. So no matter how brilliant the idea, a team is required to make it happen. So work is an act of co-creation. So what blocks powerful teamwork is the concern for individual control, credit or blame. Ongoing struggle and ineffectiveness in any project is a signal that those involved are more committed to expressing their individuality than they are to the project. So the outcome you seek now requires your leadership. Strengthening the team will enable the project you care about to come to fruition. So it's giving guidance there of leadership. So if you're really wondering what can you do about something at work, it is what I'm sensing there is being a leader in that. Identify 3 team members relevant to your project and enlist their commitment to a new level of team performance. The most essential ingredient in gaining their support will be some genuine shift in your point of view regarding who can participate and in what way. So it is being the leader and choosing a team to work around whatever that issue is. Okay, so hopefully that is actually helpful for you, Tamara. So thanks for asking. And Melina, let's have a look. You're wanting a card. Here we go. I just noticed the next question. I thought, prayer. So you've got prayer. That's a really nice piece of artwork. I like that. Wow. Very nice. So Melina, here we go. Hopefully I can focus that for you. The power of prayer, has been demonstrated and documented regardless of the higher power to whom you pray. So make it a daily habit to offer either prayers of thankfulness or petitionary prayers on behalf of others. Make every prayer a prayer of thanks. So here's the affirmation. Thank you, Great Spirit, for the peace and abundance in my life. That's a wonderful prayer. I like that. So there is your guidance. What a powerful card to actually receive. So each and every day, just tap into your spiritual guidance. Say those prayers, Melina. I'm sure that you do in some way or form, but I think the guidance here is to increase or really strengthen that connection. And thank you, Great Spirit, for the peace and abundance in my life. Okay. So I'm hoping that helps you. It probably gives a better focus on what you may have found is a little confusing. Now, Lauren, are my children being abused? I think if you have any doubt at all, I'm getting a no, but if you have any doubt at all, certainly seek a more professional assistance or report it to someone, or at least discuss it with someone who is qualified to at least go a little further into it if you're feeling at all uncertain. It is the safety of children that's the biggest concern, and you need to do that further. Probably not so, yeah. Trust your intuition on that and follow it up in the right channels, okay? And whoops. And we've got Fiona here saying hello. Oh, that flicked to a different photo, did it? Or was that just the change of the avatars? Oh, here we go. I don't know. Margaret, thank you very much. Oh, look, thank you. They are beautiful cards, aren't they, Susan? I'm really enjoying using them tonight for something different, definitely. And Simone, thank you. Yes, I am feeling well. It's the frustration, I think, because I'm trying to get things hurried up a bit, and you can't hurry healing. I'm being reminded of that. I've just got to take it slow. Right. Now, did I answer that one for you, shall we? I can't remember. Hi, Ros, lots of love. When would I find a job, and do you see me buying a car? I think the job's going to be a little while, which I think also means probably a car is too at the moment. I do feel you are going to get a car, whether that's before the job or after. I'm not 100% certain on that one. Let me just grab a card and see what that says. Signs. Probably a good one. Keep an eye out for the signs that you're getting as to when's the right time. I think you probably do have some money in savings or something for the cards, what I'm feeling. Car, and you can purchase it, but it's not quite yet. I think when it gets a bit closer to feeling you've got the job, you need to, trying to get this, looking for the signs. Signs, Spirit is communicating with us at all times through both visible and non-visible signs. So silently ask Spirit a question, then note everything you see, hear, or feel for the next few minutes. What signs are you currently receiving from Spirit as well? So here we go with the affirmation. It's I easily see, hear, and feel the messages from Spirit through signs. So get in touch with that spirit connection. Ask them too, and have the guidance. They might give you signs of which direction, who to ask for a job, and that type of thing. Trust that guidance. But at the moment, for me to say a yes, no, I don't think you're going to be getting work right at the moment. There's other things you're needing to be doing, following through with before that happens. Now, whether that's going to be whether it's going to be a different training or a course, or not even doing work for someone else, it could be that you're being guided to actually do something for yourself. It could be some form of business that you create, or just ask guidance, ask your guidance, ask your spirit guides, and look for the signs. Okay, be prepared and ready to hear what they're saying. So Kavita's saying, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, God bless you too. Thank you so much. I think I had that one up of Susan's, wasn't it? Yeah. Oops. Being a bit slow. I'm still only on the 21:06 time mark, and it does seem to get to that. And this is even without Leanne being here. Funny, isn't it? Oh, whoops. Hi, Terry. Friend from Meningie days. Lovely to see you here. Now, Nita, you're saying you love the card that you picked for you. It looks very positive. Thank you. Well, I just pull a card out. It's spirit that guides which one it is that's going to be pulled, isn't it? So they've done well, haven't they? And Palo Santo is from the Amazon. Gorgeous. I'm going to have to look that up and see if I can find some too somewhere. And I'm still doing the live up. Thank you, darling. I've got a dry throat too. Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Isn't it wonderful to have somebody helping out? Oh, I'm just going to have a sip because I'm getting a dry mouth. Perfect timing, isn't it? Wonderful, beautiful coffee. Yum. I'm a coffee addict. And Tracy, did I actually do that? Hello, do you see me finding a job soon? Can't remember if I'd. Top sense is yes. So trust that. So have that positive sense around it. Put in the positives. Feel as if you have already got that job, and which job. Choose which field, where you want to work, and all of that. Feel into that with a definite yes. So yes. Ray's saying hi. Lovely to see you. And you'd like to know what's central for you at the moment if there's time. Yeah, there's some time at the moment. So that's fine. I'll have to do a quick rundown in a minute. Grandfather fire. Wow. What's central? Fire, recreation, firing, getting rid of dross. That's the words that's coming to my mind. It's the way that the initiation into my shaman work was performed was the central fire. It is a fire. Yes, so grandfather fire, it was focused. As it is one of the oldest and most primal elements on earth, its elder status grants it the designation of grandfather fire. Come on, focus. Next chance you get, create a gathering around an outdoor fire, which for South Australia will be when fire season's finished. Let the fire of passion ignite your soul's purpose. So that would be a metaphorical fire, the fire of passion, ignite your soul's purpose. And the affirmation there is, it's still not focusing, naughty card, naughty camera actually, card's doing nothing. I am grateful for the gift of fire. So I think that's really firing off the senses within you. You know what that's relevant for. I feel that there probably is that sense of, it's very powerful. What you're feeling within that feels like that fire lighting up. Follow that. Okay. So thank you for asking for a card. Yeah. I think I did answer one for you, Shelley, didn't I? I've just got to go back up. Yeah, I had done, so that's cool. I don't like what field would it be in as far as work goes. Go for where you're attracted to as far as the type of work. Don't just go for second best. But I think you already know that. So Mahana, you're here from New Zealand. Wonderful, thank you. Whoops. Now, Eva, you're wondering about having a general reading. So, I'm just doing them by the cards. Do keep in mind that the more detailed any question is in a reading, the better your answer and response is going to be. So, Eva, what you've got here is sacred space. I'm feeling that you either have an altar or you need to be putting one up. And we'll see what it's got on the back of this card. So, sacred space is any place that supports prayer, worship, meditation or devotional practices. So create a sacred space with an altar in your room, in your home, dedicated solely to meditation, prayer or shamanic journeying. Your spiritual practice is greatly enhanced by creating and initiating a sacred space in your home. So the message is definitely to set up some space and area that you can actually dedicate to being your space And here's the affirmation for it. My sacred space is a place of peace and prayer. And make it that. So have that special area that you can say, this is mine. I need this space for myself. Sometimes it can just be a little table with a chair next to it and some form of light or candle or something like that. You create it how you want, depending on what space you've got and what you feel you need, in a way that really does make it sacred. Okay? So I think you're needing that space to be able to connect more worshipfully with your spiritual connection. Okay? So thank you for asking for that. Now, I need to, and thanks, Diane, for that. You appreciate my reading. I probably do need to move onward now. I've got this one. I think I did answer one for Mahana, didn't I? Further up. Pretty sure I had. So thank you, everyone. Now, Brittany, I'll just answer that one quickly. I'm just getting a no around this one, but you're still going to be able to keep communicating because it is your kid's father. But as far as that close, interconnected relationship that you had before, more intimate level, probably not. I'm feeling that you'll be disappointed. Yeah. I can't say whether you'll be disappointed or not. It's just that as far as an experience goes, with what you've already had as that experience together, really feel for yourself, feel into, do you really want to, or is it just for the kids? As far as that goes. So do think on it, feel into it. And I'll just, so take it from there. It's feeling no. Mariah, I don't know how you pronounce that, because Mariah Carey is spelled that way, isn't it? Mariah, please let me know if my daughter will get her grammar school in March. Thank you. As a first instinct, it's still uncertain. I'm not being told. So I'm getting a swing, which for me is actually, it's still not as certain, it's not decided, so I don't know. Okay, so just feel the positives. If you really feel it needs to be, and it needs to be something that's followed up, you'll know what steps to take. So I'm all good with the internet from the look of that. That's great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, there's nothing else that I'm going to need to respond to from this, because I think I already have done them all. So thank you, Sherry. It's lovely. Thank you for that feedback. And there certainly is a lot of activity from those TROLLSs. And thank you from Ray. Thank you for that completely. I really love it to be here and share time and space with each and every one of you. I do appreciate having the technology that we do have. And where did that go? Hang on. Whoops. I was trying to get rid of that. I unmuted it. You might have had two sounds then, just then. So please do, let others know if you feel that this type of evening is for them to join in. And I'm on every morning at 8 o'clock, but that is just for a general card spread reading. It's not for these individuals, the mini readings. So thank you for being here. And look, I'll see you either next Friday or tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on mytimetv.live. It's been so wonderful to be here. Keep being the best you, and namaste.